Let's just do this real quick. We're just gonna do this part, the chapter summary for the biological approach. Chapter summary is a good way to kind of run the brain a little bit and remember all the general stuff. And also, it's the only way to understand what they want from you in terms of similarities, differences, this stuff. So that's important. Yeah. Yeah, so let's go. Starting with Demon and Kleitman, sleep and dreams. So the psychology investigated is the ultradian rhythm of sleep stage cycles and whether dreaming occurs during rapid eye movement or non-rapid eye movement using an EEG. The aim was to see if dream recall occurs during REM or non-REM sleep and if eye movement pattern is related to dream content. There's also two other aims, which you can see if you watch the full video on it. If you can skip to like the last 5 minutes and you'll get a more in-depth breakdown of everything. In-depth like summary of the study. Procedure: participants slept in a sleep laboratory with an EEG attached to record brain waves. They were woken several times during either REM or non-REM sleep and they relayed any dream content into a recording device, plus other things as well. The results: dream recall occurred predominantly in REM sleep, and accuracy of dream duration estimation was high. Links to assumptions: dreaming occurs during REM sleep, so similarities between people can be understood in terms of biological factors. Links to issues and debates: participants reported a significantly greater number of dreams during REM sleep than non-REM sleep. Thus, sorry, 1 second. Fly in my room. Anyways, participants reported a significantly greater number of dreams during REM sleep than non-REM sleep. Thus, dreaming during REM sleep is due to nature. A real-life application is that an EEG can be used to determine whether a person is in REM or non-REM sleep, and thus used to support the diagnosis of sleep issues. Similarities: both Diemen and Kleitman and Holzel et al. Holzel et al. Is the mindfulness one, I believe, yes. Gained fully informed, valid consent from their participants, so that increases validity and like just ethics. Both Diemen and Kleitman and Holzel et al. Gained fully informed consent from their participants. Both Diemen and Kleitman and Hassett et al. Used quantitative data in their study. Differences: Diemen and Kleitman collected qualitative data as well, while Holzel et al. Only collected quantitative data. Diemen and Kleitman studied participants in a laboratory-type setting, while Hassett et al. Used the monkey's normal, natural setting enclosure. Cool. Now, Hassett et al. Monkey toy preferences. The psychology investigated was whether stereotypical sex differences in toy preferences for play result from the role of hormones in prenatal exposure or due to socialization. Whether stereotypical sex differences in toy preferences for play result from the role of hormones in prenatal exposure or due to socialization. The aim was to investigate if male and female rhesus monkeys have similar toy preferences to human infants, despite no socialization experience with human toys. The procedure: Hassett et al. Presented pairs of wheeled and plush toys to a troop of captive rhesus monkeys in their enclosure, and observers noted details of monkeys' interactions with the toys, such as sex and time spent with toy. They don't mean that the monkeys had sex with the toys, even though it reads like that. Results: significant sex differences in toy preference were observed, matching those seen in humans. Male monkeys preferred wheeled toys, while female monkeys showed no consistent preference. The conclusion is that sex differences in toy preference stem from prenatal hormone exposure. Strengths: observation used a behavioral checklist to record monkey behavior, making it reliable. Use of quantitative data in recording time spent with toys was objective. So sorry, let's go over then real quick again because I was kind of spacing out. Observation used a behavioral checklist to record monkey behavior, increasing reliability. Use of quantitative data in recording time spent with toys was objective and valid, reliable, whatever you want to call it. Weaknesses: Possible subjective bias as the observers knew the monkeys, so it's possible that they, marked each monkey differently based on what they knew about them. Human play may differ from monkey play, so conclusions cannot be generalized to humans, obviously. Links to assumptions. Sex differences in toy preferences were seen in monkeys without socialization to these toys, so this behavior can be explained in terms of the effect of genetic and evolutionary differences between these sexes. I kind of spaced out, so let's read it one more time. Sex differences, links to assumptions. Sex differences in toy preferences were seen in monkeys without socialization to these toys, so this behavior can be explained in terms of the effect of genetic and evolutionary differences between the sexes. Got it. Links to issues and debates. Toy preference in humans may be due to nature and caused by biological, not learned differences, as male monkeys showed a preference for real toys over plush toys, so it supports nature rather than nurture. A real-life application may be for parents to choose vehicles with expressive faces if they wish to develop empathy skills in boys through imaginative play, as boys are more likely to be drawn to moving parts and wheeled toys. Similarities. Both Hassett et al. And Holzel et al. Used an independent measures design. Both Hassett et al. And Demon and Kleitman investigated biological factors assumed to be due to nature. Cool. Differences. Hassett et al. Used animal participants, while Holzel et al. Used humans. Could say the same thing for Demon and Kleitman. Hassett et al. Studied behavior while participants were awake, while Demon and Kleitman studied biological processes while participants were asleep. And finally, Holzel et al. Mindfulness and brain scans. Psychology being investigated here. They used MRI scans to track changes in brain structure and gray matter change before and after mindfulness training, as well as looking at localization of function. Not really sure what that last part means. Aim to see if regular participation in mindfulness-based stress reduction (MBSR) leads to changes in brain structure. The procedure. This experiment had a longitudinal design and used MRI scans to track changes in gray matter throughout the brain before and after 8 weeks of MBSR training. Time spent on mindfulness exercises, body scan, yoga, and meditation was measured, as well as changes in the 5 facets of mindfulness. They did this 5 facets of mindfulness questionnaire, and they measured the time spent via like a little journal thing that the people did themselves, so it's a self-report, as well as changes in the 5 facets of mindfulness to see if there was a correlation. Results. The MBSR group experienced a significant increase in gray matter concentration in their left hippocampus, posterior cingulate cortex, the temporoparietal junction, and cerebellum. No significant difference was found in gray matter concentration in the insulae before and after MBSR. Conclusion. And also the control group didn't have any changes. Conclusion. Structural changes increase gray matter concentration in key brain regions can occur as a result of participation in regular mindfulness practice even after just 8 weeks. Strengths. Use of a control group increased the validity of the conclusion that MBSR caused an increase in gray matter concentration in certain brain structures. Use of quantitative data from voxel-based morphometry was objective. This is the like programmer software that they use to analyze the MRIs. Jesus Christ, why did they not explain it? Weaknesses, lack of standardization between the weekly mindfulness sessions. Participants chose exercises and their duration daily. Use of self-report data from the 5 facets of mindfulness questionnaire was subjective. Let me read the first one first again. Lack of standardization between the weekly mindfulness sessions. Participants chose exercise. Yes, okay, got it. Links to assumptions. Changes in brain structure following mindfulness training show how similarities and differences between people can be understood in terms of biological factors and their interaction with other factors. So that is nurture. Changes in brain structure following mindfulness training. But in a way, the study itself is kind of following the nature-based path of looking at like the brain and stuff like that, but then in terms of what it actually supports, it's nurture. Link stages and debates. Findings support the role of nurture as engagement in mindfulness training can lead to increases in gray matter concentration in certain areas of the brain. A real-life application may be education providers allocating time to support regular mindfulness training for long-term improvements in well-being. Nice. Similarities. Both Holzel et al. And Demon and Kleitman used brain scanning techniques, MRI and EEG. Both Holzel et al. And Hassett et al. used participants in their real-life setting. Differences. Holzel et al. Use an independent measures design, while Diemen and Kleitman use a repeated measures design for their experiments. Holzel et al. Investigated brain changes after mindfulness training, nurture, while Hassett et al. Investigated whether sex differences in behavior result from biological factors, nature. There you go. And that's the biological approach summed up into one video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you do good on your test.